having been a financial advisor now for 35 years, going back in time, I would have focused more on the same risk avoidance strategies that I'm teaching everyone today. I would have focused on that 38 years ago.
Every now and then in life, we get touched by life's beautiful angels. And so in today's episode, I knew it was valuable to share somebody super special, an angel that came down and touched my world in such a powerful way years ago. And not only has my world been improved because of knowing Tucker Watkins, but so many individuals and families share this in common. And you know what I've learned? Growing up in school, they only teach us so much on how to invite life to behave, but they don't always show us the idiosyncrasies or the opportunities that invite life to be smoother, more elegant, more available for fantasies unlocking. And so today I knew it was wonderfully valuable to introduce you to my dearest friend, Tucker Watkins. And Tucker, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity to share.
I don't even remember what year it was. Are we in 2010 or 2011? It was way back in those years. And I met you through banking.
That's right.
I met you through a very interesting financing instrument. Tucker, before we go into that too much, for those listening to us, I didn't do a very fair job. You're going to learn on today's podcast who beautiful Tucker is on a professional level, on a personal level, and how he affects others. But Tucker is one of the top people. Tucker, did you start with Ameriprise Financial? Was that in 1980?
1987, March from 1987. It was a wonderful career and a great company, focusing on serving clients as a fiduciary, putting their needs first. And it was my joy and my privilege to serve as a financial advisor for hundreds of wonderful families, managing over $160 million and making a difference in their lives, putting them first.
Literally. And so Tucker is a renowned financial advisor, so humble. Aren't some of the most beautiful angels in life also some of the most humble? Tucker is one of the strongest lasting, one of the OGs of the Ameriprise family. And if I'm correct, Ameriprise has become the largest financial advisory firm here in America, at least.
Yes. One of our claims to fame is that we have more certified financial planners affiliated with Ameriprise Financial than any other company.
And what a great thing, because that's the part of life I was talking about earlier. How do you do it? Where do we get the income ability to make new things happen that we didn't know before? And I'll tell you how. One method is taking the dollars that we already have and employing them differently. Money sitting on its own is very lazy, and money going to work is very smart. And the question is how do we put lazy money to work? And these were some of the conversations that I met Tucker through. And when I met Tucker, he was already a significant leader inside of the Ameriprise brand. In fact, if I'm correct, Tucker, you had an office is what you had,
yes.
right in Irvine in Orange County, Newport Beach area. Yeah. And you served. Now, I know your clients are confidential. I raised my hand. I was Tucker's client. You can know about me, but I know your clients are confidential. But for those who are listening to us and our clients of Tucker, isn't he beautiful? Hasn't he unlocked so many great things that he said would be possible? It's really true. It is. And Tucker, it was so fun. It was so fun visiting yesterday with you, and I can't wait to explore some of yesterday's conversation. But can we explore something a little bit differently first, Tucker? Because when I say renowned, I mean it. I met you because you were one of the top leaders inside of the Ameriprise family invited to bring on a very unique banking instrument, so unique, in fact, that it earned a patent. Who gets a patent for a mortgage instrument? Well, Ameriprise working with CMG together found that there was great interest in this product. And Tucker, you were one of the leaders that brought that on board with Ameriprise and brought it to life through a lot of the clients. And it's how I met you. And what I really met and who I really met, Tucker, is one of the most authentic, honest, caring, loving individuals that comes to life and to work through passion. And your passion was shared with your entire team, Tucker. And Tucker, please, there's a lot of passionate people on the playground of life, but not all passionate people are unlocking the things in life that you can. And what I learned about you, Tucker, and I can't wait to explore, is your incredible gift of communication. Is your incredible opportunity of taking complicated ideas and chopping them down into, well, pieces that the common person like myself would understand and actually become useful because of it. Can we please, Tucker, you've got so many recognitions, offices we spoke about. I can't imagine how many publications. I remember multiple Wall Street journals, others. You were the one selected to be interviewed on behalf of Ameriprise. When I say you're a humble leader, you're literally one of the very top in the entire brand.
Thank you.
And Tucker, please, I think all of us in the service industry, if we are in an industry to serve, would love to be wonderfully popular, would be wonderfully successful by having an overabundance of clients wanting to receive the services I provide. Tucker, you created that. You created a practice that had so much referral living in it that people were anxious to schedule an appointment to learn what's possible in the life of the things they never taught us. Tucker, can we go back early in career, please? How did you start? How did you land up in financial advisory, Tucker? What was your youthful journey? And how did you become literally one of the very top leaders in all of Ameriprise and then be able to stay in the company for, oh my gosh, 1987 until only a blink ago?
35 years. It was a great career, and I loved every minute of it serving people. I do want to share an answer to your question. I do want to share with you a profound newspaper ad that I read that changed my life. And all of your listeners, all of our listeners, should really listen to this question. So here was the question. So the ad I saw was in the newspaper, I think it was Wall Street Journal, and this is what it says. Where will you be in 5 years if you continue doing what you're doing today? And I looked at that and I thought, well, it won't be a good place if I stay where I am at that time. So I realized my passion was to serve people. At that point in time, I was a real estate broker working to help people find rental real estate, not owner-occupied, but rental real estate. And I realized that the only tool in my toolkit was to help people buy homes as rental properties. And I realized that that one tool is not sufficient to be of service to people who might have different needs other than buying rental real estate. So I decided to pursue a career. And then I had an opportunity to get all different kinds of education in different tools, different strategies to serve different needs. So my question then when I meet people for the first time is, what do they want to do? What are their goals? And then I just listen. So the key thing to communication is to listen and then to speak into that listening. So one of the life-changing workshops I took was about communication. And it says that we should all speak into a person's listening. Now that sounds a little bit awkward grammatically, but it means that we have to construct our language, our talking, into the frame of reference that the listener holds. So Frank Luntz wrote a great book subtitled Words That Work. And it's not what you say that matters, it's what people hear.
I love that, Tucker. I love that. It's not what you say, it's what people hear. I love it. Tucker, please, you were in real estate helping people get rentals early in career.
Yes.
And then you moved beyond that, Tucker, to expand. But Tucker, help me, please, because I think many of us in life find a path and a journey. But for you, what happened when we moved over from real estate to financial planning? let's say, and Tucker, did you start with clients already? Did you already have clients that came with you?
No, no. It was very difficult. The hardest part in financial planning as a career is to find clients. So in the beginning, it was a struggle, that's for sure. And then, as you mentioned, referrals are everything. So when people find someone that they trust, they're more likely to refer people that they love and care about. And so my practice was built largely on referrals and a lot of dinner seminars and listening to people tell me their goals and seeing from their responses that I was helping them build their wealth and most importantly, keeping their wealth secure. So it was a struggle. Building the business was a struggle. And, my wonderful wife who supported me in the challenging times was by my side. There she is. She's off there waving at us now. There's Margaret. So in the beginning, it was a struggle. And I commend anyone who comes into the business. Nowadays, the way that people enter the business is different. In most cases now, they're coming in as a part of a group practice where they can get mentorship and tutelage from other people who've been around longer and who have more establishment. I came in the hard way, just one phone call at a time.
That's the part I want to explore, Tucker. So many of us have that same obstacle. We can have all the passion that life will let us play with, but if we're not sharing it with anybody, what fun is it?
That's right.
So sharing it with somebody, getting that first hello, cracking the egg of industry. We all start, whether we're in insurance sales, financial planning, real estate, mortgage, whatever service, attorney, law, whatever service we're providing. How did you get it? You said you started, you made dinner events.
Yes.
How did hello happen? Did you cold call? Did you work with a team? How did you enter, Tucker? I want to go to those, or I know it's way back in the then, but Tucker, you did amazing things on the journey of the life you've continued to play with. But I want to go back to that early stage because I think so many of us who have the dream of entrepreneurship and to be a successful leader in the world of service, well, we're challenged. And I think the biggest challenge is how do you get that client? And then how do all the other ones come after? What worked, Tucker? What was the it thing? And how long did it take you to find the it thing? And what was the it that told you, Tucker, this is my way I'm doing it. This will work.
Yeah, I would say that things have changed a lot since then, but I will answer the question. Nowadays, it's much more about social media. What I did then probably wouldn't work today, but what I did then was a massive amount of work, massive amount of energy. I put a team together, and in 1 year,
Yes.
We did 57 dinner seminars all over Orange County, California. And what we would do is we would do mass mailings out. Thousands of mailings. And in each mailing, they were offered 3 different dates, 3 different venues to come to a free dinner. Very expensive. So it was a major investment in money and time and effort.
Was that your money, Tucker?
Oh, yes.
Were you self-investing in your own beginning? Were you funding those dinners?
Oh, yes. As an entrepreneur, yes, it was my own money, my own sweat, my own tears, my own struggle, and also my colleagues partnering with me. But I will share this, that one of the huge benefits of that is that it got me eye to eye and face to face with people so that they could get a sense of who is this guy, who is Tucker Watkins, and then feel comfortable with him. And then, as you said, scheduling the appointments with me, always at no cost, to see what their areas of interest were, what were their concerns. One word that you used a lot that I love is the word why. Why do they want something? What is their purpose in life? What brings them joy? How can I elevate that joy in their life? Sometimes elevating joy is taking away pain. So one of the things that I'm working on now and focusing on now since I retired from Ameriprise in 2022 is I'm working on making sure that if people have a mortgage on their house, that they have in place strategies and life insurance to protect their loved ones if they pass away.
I love all of that. I can't wait to even explore that a little bit deeper here in a minute.
Sure.
But that early stage, Tucker. So you're having dinners. You did 57 dinners in year one.
Yes.
You said you put together a team. This is your year one rookie year. You're doing all of this in your rookie year.
No,
in your year one, that's how you opened the door.
I wasn't smart enough in my rookie year. No, in the rookie year, we did something that some of your listeners won't even understand. We had what was called a white pages phone book.
Yes.
And it was an 8.5 by 11 book with white pages in it, with names and phone numbers in it. And my manager would tear out pages and hand them to the advisors and said, call these people. And we were in Fountain Valley in a little office with little cubicles about 3 feet wide. And it was so noisy that when it got noisy, we'd wad up a piece of paper and throw it at people to get them to calm down. We had one Macintosh computer we all had to share. Those were what you would call the dark ages. It was very difficult, very painful.
Yes.
It was a struggle.
Can I ask a silly question, if I may? Because I think all of us share that in common. We have the different path of how we got there, but that year, it's the struggle. It's the setting up the model itself. And here you are. It sounds like as cold calling as it gets. I remember selling bowling league. You can join the membership. And we had this other book, the Coles Directory, I think it was called. And I would just call the names and interrupt their dinners. It didn't matter. And there you are in your cubicle calling. Tucker, how did that work? How was the conversion of the white page program?
It was not well. It was a lot of work.
And your joy?
Smiling and smiling. Nowadays, I've had much more training. And one of the recent word tracks I've heard is just keep smiling and dialing.
Yes.
Some will, some won't, and someone is waiting.
That's delicious. And I wanted to explore this because I think a lot of us, especially in real estate, are trained to door knock. Go knock on doors is a little different than calling on the white pages. And others call and others just send out mailers. We're trying to get our brand, our name, our passions out in the market so people will tickle us. So year one was as old school as it gets. We're just cold calling local community people trying to find interest. And from there, Tucker, you thought there was a better business model. The one that used for you to work were the dinner functions. And do you know what I love? And did you hear the same thing I did? And please, Tucker, I think this is what leaders do. Outliers. I think outliers dream. I don't think the dinner idea happened until you dreamed it was a good idea. And then dreamers that believe in the dreams they self-create take action. And I've learned that action happens differently when we self-invest with dollars first. That dollars self-invested in ideas move us differently forward, and that it's important to believe in the dreams we're creating. And what I love about what you said, and for those listening, and Tucker, if I may, I suggest your method works deliciously today. I don't care that there's social media. Do you know what I love about what you said? You became human.
Yes.
You became eye to eye, sharing emotion, story, breath, air, oxygen, and laughter and other things. And that's where conversion happens. And do you know what I love about it too, Tucker? I feel as if, okay, I'm getting goose pimples. And why? Because I think we're programmed as people. And a lot of us come up through familiarity. I think one of the familiarities is that dinner and eating amongst family and friends is a warm space to be friendly inside of, a safe space where we can explore conversations. So what I love already is that you look at them, they're here. You used that safe space of dinner, food, and meal. You did it in a restaurant, I think you said. You would
Yes.
find restaurants and host these. And then you said you sent out thousands of invitations, mailers to people to find interest. And the invitation itself was not only will you learn something, you'll meet some new people, but I'm paying for your dinner. Don't miss it. Come right away. And Tucker, may I ask a silly question, knowing that there were 57 in year one, and I can see the dollars adding up in my mind. And what I've learned in life, it's hard to become somebody different unless I do something differently. And getting off of the telephone and the white pages and going into human to human and dinner functionality, Tucker, that was your liftoff. Can I ask a silly question? Out of that first year, your team and 57 dinners, gosh, Tucker, did that launch you off? Was that the secret recipe? Was that the it event that you continue through career, is hosting these meals, inviting your clients and their friends so that they would bring in new blood? I don't want to fill in the words for you. I'd rather learn through you. Can you share with me the recipe that you found most uniquely powerful that allowed you to say hello to so many people in California and the markets you serve?
Sure. Well, I love the fact that you use the word safe. Breaking bread in a restaurant with other people is, in fact, a safe space. And it has been going back through eons, the concept of breaking bread together. The other thing that I'll mention is that when a person finds a financial advisor, what they're really looking for is someone who can help keep their assets safe and someone that they can trust. And when a person can see me eye to eye, face to face, get a chance to ask me questions and watch me squirm sometimes when a question is a sensitive question, seeing how I answer it, you address the concept of communication and the ability to make complex issues understandable. That gets everything to do with how a person speaks, how they listen, where they come from. Do they have a background as an engineer? Or do they have a background in the arts? People process information differently. I know you're a student of communications first, as I am. So the concept of what's technically called neuro-linguistic programming, which NLP, basically that sounds really humble jumble mumble. But what it means is that in our brain, everyone processes information differently. And for us as communicators, you and I, what we need to do is to first listen to people, to determine how they process information, and then speak into that language of listening so that we become congruent with them. And then that opens the channels of communication, opens the channels of trust.
What I love about it is you've said it a couple of times. I feel like that's the core of successful communication. As you've said, it's listening. And then using what you heard in a way so you can speak to be heard. Because as you said earlier, it's not what you say, it's what somebody heard. And it's hard to be heard if we're not speaking in the language they hear us through. And it's hard to grab their language if we're not using the power of listening to grab the tools that they're gifting us.
Mm-hmm.
So you're self-investing in career early. For those listening, those in service industry, you should do the same. Yes, we have social. Yes, you should be on it. When? As often and consistently as you can, consistently being the key, creating great content. But beyond that is human to human, and putting up dollars before you earn them, sticking $4 in the machine that gives you $7 back, eventually $9 back, is a delicious machine I don't care to step away from. You might want to do that in your career. Self-invest before you've earned because you believe you will. And all of a sudden, the how you get there shows up. But I've learned that it's not invited to show up unless we believe in it first. It's the self-belief that we create that creates the how we get there. Tucker, for you, it was these dinners. And you taught me that that was your dollar leaving your wallet before there was any commitment of anybody doing anything that puts dollars into your wallet. And you started by giving first. And something tells me that we get more out of life by the more we give life. Mm-hmm. So focus on giving first. Her name is Peaches. I'll never forget her. She's how I got into mortgages. And she said, Scott, focus on what you're doing that invites the money to happen. Don't focus on the money happening. Focus on what you're doing that invites it to happen, and all the money flows after. And Tucker, may I please, I've learned in life through you, my God, I've learned so much.
Thank you.
Here's what I've learned. We don't know anything. Consumers walking around in the world. We know what restaurant we love. We know what enchilada sauces are good or not, but we don't know much about self-investing and turning $1 into $6. And we can try ideas. We can play with modern technology and visit with chat. But I've learned it's the passionate people that love what they're doing that unlock the how we do it by going deeper than only surface level. And knowing that we're in an incredibly limited time on this podcast, Tucker, will you allow me to ask a silly out loud question? I've got a couple of them, Tucker.
Okay.
I want to very much explore the modern version of Beautiful You and where your passions have been focused. And I want to explore that. But before we do, can I ask for those listening to us right now, we're all at different stages in life. And I remember somebody saying this in real estate, the best time to invest in purchasing a house was yesterday. And the next best time is today. And I hope you get to access tomorrow. Since we're all on a different financial journey in life, when is the best time to self-invest, Tucker? Tucker, what three things, making it simple, three things that an average, beautiful person can do to self-invest in their own financial successes? What top three things would you recommend?
Start with gratitude. I believe that we are all children of God. I am grateful to everything that I have. I live each day in gratitude. So I say gratitude is number one. The other one that you just said a moment ago has to do with giving first. So I would say that one of the great workshops I went through has a 2-word motto, which is this: givers gain. Givers gain. And then the third thing I would say is read to succeed. Reading is everything. So I have a very extensive library, and because you're talking about Believe Bolder, I do want to share with your listeners 2 profound books. This is called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. The other one that is truly profound is The Biology of Belief.
Oh, I've read that book. It's a wonderful book. In fact, I think it was you that told me about it years ago.
Yeah.
And I grabbed it, and I absolutely love that book. Excellent book.
What both of these books have in common, so the first one, much, much older, didn't understand about quantum physics, but what Dr. Bruce Lipton does in this book is he talks about quantum physics, which is simply that as you think, so shall you be. And that's right out of the Bible. There is a book by that title, the book is called As a Man Thinketh, which again is awkward Old English, but anyway, As a Man Thinketh. The concept is that whatever we believe will become true.
100%.
And so to believe bolder, as you teach in your podcast here, to believe bolder, you literally create your own reality. So there's a great mentor named Joe Dispenza who says, if you want to predict the future, create it.
Isn't that something? Tucker, please. It's really true. Everything you just said is awesome. Isn't that something, everybody? Weren't you thinking Tucker was going to say, buy this stock at this mutual fund and do this? Didn't you think that was going to be Tucker's? Nope. Did you hear him how to get rich in life? Gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude is another word I use for appreciate. Gratitude. Be appreciative. Go deep. That I've learned the deeper you can go in the spirit of gratitude, the more joy everything around you becomes, because you're not on the surface level only. Very powerful, Tucker. The goose pimples are literally right back. All of those 3 ingredients are wonderfully, wonderfully powerful. And the books that you've introduced will absolutely change thought. And
Yes.
it's the change thought that changes lives. And I've learned it's never too late. Yesterday would have been great, but you can change your thought right this moment. And Tucker, please. So I was visiting And I visited with you, Tucker, not enough.
Thank you.
And this visit was super special. Many are. Always is a strong word. I don't remember the time that I've not walked away with a feeling after our visits, Tucker. I often walk away inspired. I walk away with new beliefs, and I walk away with knowledge of the things I didn't realize I didn't know just the moments of the before. And yesterday moved me so much. I was literally on the drive home from the desert back to LA, and you and I were talking, and I was so moved. It was your voicemail first that moved me, and it was your joy. Tucker,
Yes.
when did you retire, my friend? What year did you retire?
In March of 2022, after 35 wonderful years with Ameriprise Financial, I decided to spend more time with my wife and my kids. And so that's what I did.
2022. So 3 years ago, my buddy Tucker retired. We're supposed to stop the working, when you retire. But you know what I've learned? Passion doesn't retire. It just answers to a different schedule. And so in the conversation, Tucker, you shared, and you said it here earlier, and I love it, being in the mortgage industry, another area that allows me to create a career through it by helping individuals and families get through the things that relate to financing the homes we live in, and to help them find the things that they never taught us. And how do we get there? Tucker, you shared with me something so powerful, and you said, Scott, I no longer am going to focus on things in life that support and manage risk. Instead, in my retirement years, I'm hand selecting the things that serve our clients and people well and remove any form of risk by doing it.
Yes.
These are risk-free opportunities that serve consumers, home buyers, and families. And you knew it was so important to reach out and share this with me. And I got so moved by it, Tucker, that I knew everybody needed to learn about this, because I think life protected is a lovely life to live. I think having a fluffy, soft pillow at night, because we have tools that protect the stormy day of tomorrow, makes that pillow safe to sleep on. And life can be challenging in its own right. And yesterday you taught me that there's insurance policies available for consumers and families to purchase. And like many things, they come in multiple flavors. The flavors we don't fully understand, but you do, thank God. And it's your passion that invited you to dig deeper into those policies that protect. And I love what it was busy protecting. Tucker, you shared with me some powerful things yesterday that relate to what happened when we finance real estate and purchase it. And you have the ability to protect that mortgage in case of life's happenings. Can we go just a little bit deeper, please, on the areas of focus, on the areas that you're helping? And before you do, can you share? Because I think life is more interesting through the stories we share together. And Tucker, you have a very special story that led you into the conversion from real estate management and rentals over to financial advisement. I think it was your mother. Can you share a little bit about what happened on your journey, what you shared with me yesterday, and kind of your why you're doing what you love to do right now?
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity. So I'm going to tell you a true story of a tragedy and my learnings from it and how it shaped my career. So the tragedy is that my dad, his name was Harold, was a World War II hero to me. He flew freight to the Free Chinese right over the Himalaya mountains, incredible as that sounds. And then at the young age, what I think at the young age of 57, he up and suddenly died. And that was tragedy number one. Tragedy number two was that he had no life insurance. And that put my mom in a tailspin for sure. Horrible grieving, horrible financial tragedy. And so the only good news, saving grace, is that she owned a home in Sunnyvale, so she was able to live by renting out rooms and paying the bills with the rent from the tenants. So she lived that way for 40 years with no privacy. She made it all the way up to 97 years of age. And I think in our generation and our kids' generations, people are going to live to 100 for sure. But my point in this is that what the flaw in my dad's financial plan is that he had no life insurance. So now my new mission is to help anyone I can with making sure that they have enough proper life insurance, properly funded life insurance, so that if there is a death, whether it's from an accident or a cancer or diabetes or whatever, that there's enough money there so that the loved ones can pay off the home and live debt-free and be safe. So again, it's what I call safe money. And if I have time, may I explain how that works?
Oh, please. I don't, that's one of the things I don't think they taught us. You taught me yesterday, Tucker,
Yes.
and it was so
Yes.
powerful.
Good. So most people know that there's two types of insurance, life insurance. There's term insurance where you literally buy a span of years of protection, kind of like renting a car and that you don't really own it. And when you rent a car, eventually you turn back the keys and you're done. So term life insurance will end. That's why it's called term, because it only has a term of years and then it ends. What I believe in is that sometimes term has to be used because it's affordable. But here's a question. Why is term insurance affordable? It's affordable because in most cases, the insurance companies don't have to pay a claim because the insurance policy lapses before the insured person lapses. So
Oh, interesting.
if the term insurance ends before the person dies, the insurance company doesn't have to pay a claim, so that's why it's inexpensive. Sometimes we'll do a blend of term insurance plus permanent insurance, but let me talk about the permanent insurance. There's one type of permanent insurance called indexed universal life, where it is a permanent life insurance where the money goes in and most of that money goes into buying indexes, like let's say the S&P 500, which everyone knows is the 500 largest companies in the United States. So the money goes in and it goes into the indexed universal life. It continues to compound over time. It continues to grow tax-free, and it can actually be borrowed out tax-free. So here's what I would have everybody in our listening audience do. I'm going to show you how this works. It's really cool. So you take out your hands, put them in front like this. Okay, Scott, do it with me. And on the left hand, that's going to indicate the S&P 500. On the right hand is going to be the index universal life. When the stock market goes up, both hands go up. The stock market goes up, your index universal life goes up. Now, if the stock market goes down, the index universal life locks in and the stock market goes down.
Oh,
And when the market goes up, they both go up. When the stock market goes down, the S&P goes down, your account stays locked in. If the S&P goes up, both hands go up. If the S&P goes down, the S&P goes down, but the index locks in. So which hand do you want to invest in? The one that loses money or the one that always wins?
I love the power of insurance. That's the gift
Yes.
of being insured. It doesn't
Yes.
lose. It's protected.
That's right. It's protected. And the protection
Markets are not. They have risk.
Yeah. Well, in your background, think about 2008 and the mortgage meltdown, right?
Yes.
The market went down almost 49% in that year period. What I do then is I teach these strategies to my clients. I let them choose. I'm a fiduciary. I let them do whatever they want to do. I just lead them and educate them on the fact that they have choices and that they should look for safety. Everybody wants safety. So what I bring to the table are safe strategies.
I love it so. Oh my God, Tucker, I love who you are, my friend. That's why we're here. I want to introduce everybody to all of the trusted people I've met on my journey of life that have impacted me in very powerful ways. You've met some of the very top. Tucker, you're truly at the top of that list. Everybody, you can surely see why when I mean by Tucker taking complicated ideas and making them simple by doing our hands and moving up and showing what happens with markets versus insurance. Insurance is designed to protect. Markets are designed to be moving in nature. Rarely are they ever stable in only one direction. So I love that. Tucker, please. So you know what else I love? And it was so funny. When I was younger, I didn't care. Honest to God. I was making money. And so I had a life policy, a universal life policy that I could invest in. And there's some super cool things, but I was a single individual and, I didn't care. I was just like having fun and career and doing things. Do you know what happened on my journey of life? Well, I got married. I have a spouse. I've got a family now.
Yep.
I'm 58 years old, Tucker.
Looking
And now I think differently, and I mean it. Tucker, we own 4 houses.
That's awesome.
Several cars. Not everything is owned outright. Some things are. And then I asked myself, well, what happens? My spouse is 13 years younger than I am, and age doesn't determine when the goodbye happens. Your dad at 57 was way too early. So it's not the age that's going to determine it, but it can suggest it. And in my thoughts, when I'm left alone to have them, Tucker, I think about this. How will my spouse be able to carry the story forward without my income participating? My income participates by my active work that I do. If I'm inactively and not working, Tucker, my income will change.
Yep.
And the affordability to retain what I've built changes with that. I don't want my beautiful spouse to be affected by that. I think what I'm saying is, Tucker, I care. When I was younger, I didn't give a crap. I didn't care. I just cared about being friends, and who cares? And I've learned that I care now. So I want everybody who's hearing us, remember, the best day to start in anything was yesterday.
That's right.
Today's a great day to start as well. And this message is for you. Who even loves the topic life insurance policy? It doesn't even sound fun. Well, until you know what it is. And once you know what it can do, boy, is it fun. You can, the goose pimples are back. Why? Because I was the one on the phone with Tucker yesterday learning about what it can do, creating tax-free income later in life,
That's right.
finding ways to invest that make tomorrow safer, not just for yourself, but for your family. Because what does happen to them? That's you. That was me. Walking down Ventura Boulevard, Studio City, and I got run over by a car.
Yeah.
Now, what if it wasn't just my wrist and arm that got chewed up? What if it killed me? And that was the day that I left this beautiful planet. You don't know when you're leaving. You're just going. The ride's not forever. The ticket only goes for so long. So the question is what are you leaving behind? What is your financial legacy for your family?
Yes.
Now, if it's just you, these are still sexy. Why? Because they let you play with later in life tax-free, and it lets you unlock fantasies per your choosing through your single life choosing. For those with families, it protects your children. It opens up financial envelopes. It invites you to be spectacularly different financially on the journey of the game of life itself. None of us, and I mean it, none of us should be naked without a policy of protection. Who the heck is insuring our life? Well, they are, and you can get it. But it's hard to get protection if you don't know the best resource. And when Tucker was on the phone with me sharing his passion, I knew you had to hear about this. It is so important, especially for those of us financing real estate. That's a lot of debt that my spouse would have to carry just on the income that would be theirs, and it would not be enough. Ours works because it's blended. And when we pass away in life, your life insurance policy can pay those debts off in full.
Yep.
You can create opportunity, and the cost for this protection is ridiculous. You know, it's just like getting costs for your insurance, for your auto, for your health, for anything you're insuring. You're paying a much lower cost monthly than you would if you had one of the claims. Now look at how much the claim cost. And this is the claim of life we're speaking about. And this is a life insurance policy. And the secret is who can you trust? Who is going to teach me the things I didn't know because they really care to educate me, and that their joy has happened through by giving. Remember, the first one was gratitude. Yep. The second one was giving.
Yep.
So giving unlocks joy at a very high level. Giving comes in many formulas. For those who don't know Tucker as well as I do, allow me, without going too deep, Tucker and his beautiful family are incredibly financially stabilized. They do not need the funds of producing time to educate us or to give you a policy. Their work that they did in their yesterdays was more than enough to take care of them, their children, and generations to follow. So I want you to know that the guidance that you'll be able to achieve through Tucker comes through the pace of giving, authentic, valuable giving, because my beautiful friend never stops. What is retirement? It's redesigned giving. And Tucker has chosen the areas to give, and it's things that protect the life we're living and making sure that we remove risk, because insurance is designed to speak to risk.
Yep.
Markets are designed to speak to volatile opportunities. Insurance stabilizes a volatile world. And so I love what you're doing at the Watkins Agency. Is that what?
Thank you.
Is that where our listeners find you, Tucker? I know there's going to be a link right here in the podcast. And everybody, please, you can already tell these gorgeous people you're meeting on the journey of the podcast are great folks for you to reach out and say hello to. It's why they're on the podcast, to let you know that life can be what you believe you want to enjoy. And as you're on the path of enjoying it, do it with protection. Don't run out the world naked every day. Get some tools that protect the color of next. Tucker, what can I add to that?
Let's look at the wisdom of Warren Buffett. I'm going to give you two great Warren Buffett quotes. The first is, if you're sitting under a shade tree today, it's because someone planted a seed a long time ago. And so life insurance then can be the seed that can protect the tree of financial abundance for your entire family, for all of your loved ones. The other great Warren Buffett quote that I hope all of your listeners listen to, because this is really as profound as it gets. So Warren Buffett, obviously a self-made multi-billionaire, says that there's two rules of investing. Here's what they are. Rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, remember rule number one. Okay? So the relevance of that then is that on this concept known as index universal life, because the life insurance companies protect the principal, it locks all gains in and never goes down. So it truly is, index universal life truly is the embodiment of the Warren Buffett rules of investing. Rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, remember rule number one. So I would say that for people who, especially anyone who has a mortgage, they should certainly call me.
100% I support that, Tucker, 100%.
Thank you. May I give them my California phone number?
Yes, it'll even be in the thing, but absolutely, Tucker.
Okay. So my California phone number is 949-510-2053. That's 949-510-2053. Text me and I'll text you back. I stay really busy, but I'll find a way that I can squeeze you in and see how I can be of service to you and your family.
You're going to love that call. It'll be life-changing, I assure you. And you'll walk away with a feeling that you didn't even know could happen, speaking to somebody on financial advisement and the topic of life. What? You know, the things we never talk about, the goodbyes of it all. And then how do we plan for those goodbyes? And the power of insurance. Remember this. We can take just a few of our dollars and blend it with theirs and make massive dollars out of it later. And they're protected dollars. Those same dollars sitting in the checking, savings, retirement mutual fund, all have movement exposure. Tucker, I heard something you said, and I want to reiterate it. In the life insurance policy that you represent, the gains that happen on the journey get locked in. So
Yes.
anytime a profit event happens through movement of the S&P 500, in our example, our movement grew with it.
Yes.
But in the insurance side, we locked into that growth. And if the S&P went lower, we did not follow the lowerment. We
Correct.
only stayed in the gain portion.
Yes.
So the insurance is insuring against loss.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What? They're going to insure and protect against a market loss and protect the money of the gains that this is the stuff I'm talking about. I told you we had to meet Tucker. Why? Because yes, you can. And no, you don't have to do it alone. And yes, you can continue to be magnificent tomorrow, but eventually tomorrow's not coming for you. And when that day comes, your policy that you built with Tucker's assistance will take care of everything you designed. Your legacy will be financially protected. Your family will be financially protected at a monthly cost that is ridiculous in comparison for the exchange of the invitation of protecting life. Tucker, thank you so much for joining us today. I knew this would be wonderfully valuable. Thank you for joining us on this great podcast journey today. It's the opportunity to meet beautiful people in life that will help you on your journey. Remember, it's hard to create everything new when you do it alone. My suggestion is to find beautiful people, be authentic so the right people are finding you, and then lean into them, and together you can create things you've never dreamed of. But just don't do it alone. Find the passionate experts that focus on the areas that support your dream. Tucker, thank you so very much for joining us. And as we close out today, may I ask just one last question? If you could go back to your younger, beautiful self, knowing what you know now and what you've created in the life you've done, your legacy is so powerful. Anybody can Google Tucker Watkins. He's everywhere. You'll see what I mean. Tucker, what does your younger self need to know? You only get 1 minute to speak to your younger self. What would you share with your youthful self to help you on this journey?
That's a thought-provoking question. What I have learned is self-education is critical. I have a vast library of 700 or 800 books. I read all the time. Read to succeed. I would say, too, that one of the best books is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, where he talks about anything can happen to us, but it is up to us to decide how we will respond. So I respond to life with joy. I respond to life with gratitude. And I would say looking for people who are like-minded, who share the concept of gratitude and joy is critical. Be open to new things, continue to grow. And I would say learn about ways to reduce risk. I would say that having been a financial advisor now for 35 years, going back in time, I would have focused more on the same risk avoidance strategies that I'm teaching everyone today. I would have focused on that 38 years ago.
Oh, wow, Tucker. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, how do you learn what you love and don't love until you sample them all? And that's what I love about you, Tucker. I love you for so many reasons, friend. And I didn't know that was one of them that I didn't focus on, and I will now. And it's true. You never stop self-educating. Literally never.
Yes.
Literally never. Even when you were actively working non-retired, you were consistently going to great programs for further education.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner. It's that student mind. I love having the student mind as well, Tucker. And it's just proof that we don't know anything. We know something, but no, we don't. There's so much even more. Well, I just adore you, Tucker. Thank you for being so beautiful. Thank you for finding a path in your life that thought that you should help others understand those financial things they didn't really teach us. And I didn't understand it. And you've empowered my family on many ways and my career, Tucker. And I think anybody who gets a chance to visit with you will walk away with a feeling, and they will absolutely be able to hear your beautiful messaging. You're an incredible person, Tucker. Thank you for not retiring in your retirement. And thank you for creating a path for families to still improve their situations. Your constant giving is so valuable, my friend. And well, in that spirit, I want to invite you to call Tucker, get on the phone, learn what's possible. You won't regret it. And I'd love it if you'd share this podcast. I'd love it if you'd share us with a 5-star review. The algorithms pay attention to reviews that are made. So wherever you're hearing us from on your platform, it would really be wonderful for Tucker and I if you gave that great 5-star review. And well, we're really glad you joined us today. We knew we'd have a lot of fun exploring. I can't wait until next week in our next episode. And thank you for joining us today on Believe Boulder. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Tucker.
Bye, everybody.